So how are you guys? It's wonderful to meet you both.
You as well.
Nice to meet you.
I don't know if I need to look in the camera at the screen. I'm so amateur at this.
You're supposed to look at yourself.
Oh, well, okay. Really? That's so weird.
No,
I'll do that all night long.
No, look. So that's Sarah, and that's Sarah.
I know. Which Sarah?
Well, I guess we'll just get started with, why don't you guys just tell me a little bit about yourselves?
I'll have this guy start.
We're a bunch of,
He's the main attraction.
we're just a bunch of nerds in Texas, and go to try to see as many shows as we can.
Oh, wait, I'm going to start that over. No, I'm kidding. He's a nerd. Yeah, but he started watching, I guess, going to shows a long time ago. Shoot, what year was that? 2008,
After our kids were a little bit older.
Maybe?
Oh, no, we saw Umphrey 2006.
Well, we did, but you were going to the shows without me for quite a while.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, the whole Umphrey's connection was we were following Fish, following Mo, little Ben Harper, searching for the sound, trying to I grew up a metal kid in Florida, so I definitely was looking for that rage with my page.
Yeah.
And, wasn't getting it, or was at the wrong shows, but I read in Rolling Stone that this new band, Umphrey's McGee, was going to be the next Fish. I was like, all right, check it out. So, just like every other band, I had to check out Disco and Cheese and all of that. I was just looking. None of it spoke to me. And then they were coming to Tulsa, and we drove up to Tulsa and bought Safety in Numbers on the way up, and it just came out and just kind of hit us really hard, or hit me hard. That show
hit him hard.
Was pretty amazing. They were opening up for Mo, and after that we were just like, we found the crossroads, and we just couldn't get enough, and it was like, I need more. And then I scooped up my son Austin, who was maybe 13 at the time. He's
about
like,
that, I bet.
Like, oh, Dad, I don't like jam bands. He was all into Britney Spears at the time. I was like, quiet, son, listen to this song. And I played him Fancy and said, you're going to the show. I thought I had a chance, because he was in Dave Matthews. And it was his first show was Austin. And first set, they did a Fancy, women Fancy. And he was like, oh, Dad, did you see what they did? They started the song and they went another song. It's like his first journey. And after that, he was hooked. And then we were just like hitting flights. And then we went up to this 2006 show, which is actually where this whole origin story originated from, was that run. And Los Lobos opened up for night 2. This was for the first night, which was my magic night, because they covered Abacab. And that was,
Oh,
I love when they cover that.
That was my 5th grade cassette.
Oh, yeah. Everybody loved that.
Ran that thing to death. It was almost like they were made that concert for me.
Right.
And I think everyone around me was freaking out, because I just went crazy. And
I love that.
I'm a stomper, I'm a sweater, and I rage hard.
Yes, he is.
And that's what I've been looking for. And so I just started going to as many shows as I can. It's tough in Texas and with my job, but after a few New Years, Steph was like, we're taking the whole family from now on.
Yeah.
And then it became,
hey, you can't keep leaving me here and go have all the fun. Let's change it up a little.
Became road trip. And every New Year's we could, it was all ages. I'd bring the kids, and even one year I got to bring in at the Riviera, I got to bring in a little step stool, talk to Carl, the security guy there. And he was like, yeah, come on in. Just once this is security guys, I bring my kids in, and I just feel like we're all protected. And if anything, they need to be protected from me, because I'm raging, I'm sweating. One time my daughter looked up and she was like, I thought it was raining. And I looked up and there was a roof. And I was like, it's Dad. And boom, got the elbow in the crowd. Dad, quit sweating on me.
Don't let it be the last time.
That's funny. I love that.
It's the band. I'll go see other bands, and I'm calm. I'm cool. Saw King Crimson Friday night, and I just sat there like a good boy, even though I wanted to stand up and go do my Tool thing. But
they bring it out of you. Umphrey's brings it out of you.
Did they answer your question? We're a bunch of music nuts.
I love what you were saying about how you took your kids. We do that. My husband and I do that with the kids. Our youngest has been to almost 20 shows and he's 6.
Awesome.
And
Wow.
we do the same thing. We make it a big deal. We went to Chicago the one year, and during the day we went and did all the fun sightseeing stuff with the kids. And then at night, a couple of those nights, one of the nights we took the kids, the other nights we enjoyed ourselves, so it's cool to hear that you guys have done that too.
Rage, rest, repeat. Yeah, the kids used to write little notes to the band, and they're like, "Hey, here's our set list. We want you to play tonight." And it's like Alex Hose. I mean, it's just all their little misspellings.
Hey,
and
I want to hear that one too.
So they're coming in Dallas. My daughter Phoebe, she's still chasing that one. She still didn't get that one. She's been asking since she was 6.
For Alex's house.
Yeah, she's 18 now.
I love that.
They're
Well, come on, they gotta give her that one.
I know.
Right?
What's up?
I feel like that's the longest I've ever heard anybody chasing a song.
Right. Yeah.
That's a long
It's been a
time.
while. I was chasing Robot World for 100 shows. I finally got it on my 101st, which is
Nice.
crazy weird.
Nice. I'm still waiting for Roulette. So 77 shows. I'm still holding out, but we'll see.
Nice.
Oh man. Unicorn songs.
Yeah. So basically, seeing the band as much as we would see them, I just was so, I don't know, passionate of everything they're dishing out, and I would just leave covered in sweat, and I would just have to be that guy, that drunk guy, and hanging out afterwards, and
That's true.
talking Kevin's ear off, and I always wanted to get a project going with these guys because we were doing animation and cool projects, and I was like, man, if I could work with these guys, that'd be really cool. So I tried to get them on a soundtrack a long time ago, and just always trying to find a project that I could hire them or work with them, somehow collaborate. And then we just kept in touch, of course, every year, seeing at the shows, and found some cool opportunities. So I've been really lucky, just like pinch myself all the time. Man, I get to work. How often do you find where you
hear this all the time.
Work with your favorite band?
Yeah,
Or
absolutely.
At least they are cool with working with you. So it's been fun.
For sure. So tell me where your passion for computer animation came from.
I guess having children, because I just wanted to be a painter. I just wanted to be
Paying
a painter.
The bills?
Yeah. After I had to
responsibility.
After I had to pawn my entire record collection in college to get baby formula. That's when it hit. Computers. Oh crap! I gotta learn computers.
Yeah,
now.
I still don't know them.
But I mean, I always just wanted to be a painter and go off to Europe and get a grant and paint and be next Salvador Dali. And then I had a kid in college, and
changes your plans.
Good motivation.
Right. Yeah.
And so it was cool because my college roommate, he dropped out, started a computer animation studio. And so I had a job even before I graduated that we would start this thing, and it grew and became a bigger thing. And then it's just, again, right place, right time. It was actually seeing Toy Story for the first time and just seeing how the whole industry changed. Everyone likes to say Jurassic Park for the heavy visual effects stuff, right. But for me, it was just Toy Story. And in
when
college,
you've got little kids, Toy Story is that's the thing.
College, I bought my first Mac and just went to town. I did a widespread panic poster in college, and I knew it was like, this is it. This is everything for me.
Was that the first time your love of music and art came together?
I mean, they're like hand in hand. I can't do art without music. And then, the music is, just takes on, it makes you want to create. So, I mean, they're interchangeable in our world. I can't play an instrument, but I felt like growing up, really respectful of the musicians who could play really well. So I was all into the, Al Di Meola and the guys that were just like the shredding guys. John McLaughlin, Paco de Lucia, that whole new age stuff with Phil Keggy and Steve Morse. I was really into the Dixie Dregs in high school, and Iron Maiden and the Grateful Dead all at the same time. So, it's like this whole gumbo of like the most incredible musicians you'll ever see. And it felt like Umphrey's filled that gap that I was looking for, always searching for.
Yeah, it sounds like it. You're just like naming all these things. It's like, yep, makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
So wait, hold on. What about you? You're from Buffalo. I was born in Rochester. I'm a upstate New York kid. And I don't know how I found Mo, but the whole Mo brought me into Umphrey's. And
yeah, that's pretty much my path. Mine kind of starts with Dave Matthews. Actually, I was into Dave Matthews in like high school and stuff. But then I started seeing Mo, being from Buffalo, and went to summer camp and fell into Umphrey's pretty much. So
that metal edge.
It was more the progressive rock part of it. And I grew up on Genesis and Rush and all of that. Like my dad used to school me on music. He was in the military. And so he would send me tapes with, recordings of just whatever, he would hold probably his tape deck and record them. And so he would send me these tapes and he would talk to me. And then he would play this song and there would be a quiz, who sang this or what was this artist or the album or whatever. And so then like there would be a prize when he got home from being overseas. And so that's really where a lot of like mine comes from is, his love was Dire Straits and Genesis and Rush and all these other bands. And so like when I found Umphrey's, it was like, wow, okay.
they fill every one of those needs, right?
Yeah, and it's incredible how like my thing was totally different than yours, but it did the same thing.
Right?
That's so cool.
Do you guys play Stump the Umph? Do you play Stump the Umph with the kids?
No.
So I'm always, well, I mean, like so much of seeing Umphrey's is the more you put in, the more you get out at their shows. So if you and the podcasts I used to do, I have all of them on CD, and I would just listen to Umph almost every day for like 10 years. Maybe.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Trust us.
So I felt like an archivist, but putting all that research in, that's why I thought I got so much out of the shows. The dedication, just pure professionalism, musicianship. But so like I'm always playing it in front of the kids, and so we play Stump the Umph. And they have to name the song, and whoever gets it first, because I was usually the back seat of my car is 3 little kids. And so it's a competition. And the one who actually doesn't go to the shows usually does pretty well. Pretty good memory.
Yeah. He's the elephant memory.
Yeah. So raising little Umpphreys.
Mm-hmm.
And now
these kids are in training. That's what you do with your kids, right?
My kids are like that too. Well, my daughter's been taking lessons with Joel since September, like almost a year now.
I know that because I've been listening to your shows.
That's great.
They have like this really fun little like friendship / teacher pupil relationship, and it's so funny because it's just completely separate from Joel, the keyboard player from Umphrey's McGee. So it's pretty funny.
That's precious.
But it's great for them too, like for them both. It's been really cool to see that relationship foster.
Yeah, I think that's another reason why we love the band so much. It's just they care, they care about their fans. They care about my kids. They do. I bring them all up front. I remember one time, even the one who doesn't like their music, he was up there on the rail with me at Stubbs, and I just had the whole family right there looking at the band, and they're like, this is before any of them had kids. And it was just, it was,
they were always so accepting. And,
like
considerate, and
they'd invite the kids on,
come
very kind. check out the bus, come see him after the show. and
just really trying to establish that
bring the kids little
relationship.
autographs and stuff like that. It was just always so sweet. Really, that you could tell that they're so genuine, and it's been great, and which makes us love them more.
Yeah. So talk about the very first project you've worked on with Umphrey's.
What was it? Well, I mean, it was actually in the beginning. We invited them out to the animation studio. I think it was 2008. We brought them out to our studio in Dallas, and I had put together a whole presentation and animatic and everything. It was a project for Paramount, and it still hasn't moved anywhere. It's just sitting in limbo,
as things often do out there.
Yeah, it never got a green light, but I really wanted to get the guys to do a cool soundtrack. And then with the powers that be, it became, maybe I get them to do a song. And then it became the project's not moving. Yeah. But I was really wanting to do some sort of soundtrack, which I just thought, the Stu series and everything, it just lends itself to, these guys can score a movie and they'd be amazing at it. In between their downtime. I mean, this is before they had kids. But then the second opportunity came around where VR just came out. We were big Kickstarters with the Oculus. So we had the Oculus headset. It's like, man, we've got to do some shows. I want to transport some people to an Umphrey show, but not like a crappy VR thing with the camera set up, one camera. So we did like a 5-6 camera setup at the House of Blues in Houston, 2015, 16, maybe. I think it was 2016. And our studio was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's dive in. Let's see what we can do with this thing. And they let me get all the cameras, bring them down. I got some guys I brought like a bunch of people to help out so I could get on the rail. So there, set the cameras. Let's do this. All right, ready, go. Okay, I'm gonna be on the rail. See you later. so it's like, oh yeah, with 360s, set it and forget it. Although, we had some guys in there, but it was really fun and cool, and we spent a lot of time. And
is that the one we had the helmet cam?
No.
Oh, that was a funny one.
That was
that helmet.
That was a couple of years ago.
No.
But again, trying to, we already did that. Where can we go? Where can we go from here?
Right.
So it was cool, and it won some awards, and it got known in the VR community. And I'm just trying to promote the band. Like, guys, you have no idea if this is like the coolest band out there, the greatest live band you'll ever see. And so it was cool, successful, and then we were. I think at that 2008 meeting, when they came out to the office, they saw all the cool development artwork, and Jake was like, hey man, you should do a poster for us one day. I was like, yeah. These guys do the posters, Yeah. I would just, doodle a little bit. But then there was a cool opportunity to do an AR poster. And I pitched it over to Kevin because I've never seen an AR concert poster.
Right.
And so with its AR technology, I thought, man, let's be the first ones to do an AR concert poster.
Yeah.
And then that was kind of one of the cooler ones to do. And
that was such a passion project. You really loved that.
There's so much cool technology that I see day to day, and I'm always just bouncing it back and forth with Kevin, going, hey, check out this. Look what I'm sure he doesn't like that, but I'm always like, man, can we do something like this? Can we do this? Let's do this. I always just want to plug insert Umphrey's here. And it's
I think that was great. I am super interested in that Red Rocks thing. Like, that is so neat how you did that whole thing. So talk about that process kind of like from beginning to end.
Hey, one thing though. I wanted to play a game. Every time we say Umphrey's McGee, we have to take a drink.
Umphrey's McGee.
Okay.
We're going to be drinking more than we am.
Yeah, just everywhere you see a cup being raised.
Yeah, that's like a clean slate.
Edit. Now the poster The poster was cool just because it was, something different. And I'm a, tech nerd, but I don't know if all the fans were all into that, but I wanted to be the first, so many of my projects and at work, we get called to do stuff that's never been done before. And just that part of that innovation is in our DNA. And it's like, hey, we can do this, and let's be the first to try something new. And with that, we had the floor. So of course put the floor in there. And so the whole AR thing is, we actually use clip from Red Rocks, embedded that in the poster, had all the artwork as your trigger. And then I, drew 40 different rock stars in Red Rocks. So once you hold it over there, you find the 40 rock stars. And so I'm like making this whole thing, like, you got to find them all, you got to name them all. And if someone gets all 40, they'll win a prize or get tickets for a year. And I go on and on and on. And Kevin's like, no. Let's just,
let's scale it back a little bit.
Yeah. Well, let's just make sure it's in color, not black and white. That'll never sell. And so, I just, he gives me a little bit of leash, and then he's got to reel me back in.
Yeah, wait for me.
Yeah.
I love your big ideas, though. That's fantastic.
Yeah, they're not all doable or successful, but it's just throw it out there. I mean, it's like improv. You're improving your artwork. You're just going for it, and all right, you're gonna give me this little window. I'm gonna sledgehammer. It's like, do more. Let's do more.
But you never know, though. If you don't speak up and say something and throw it out there, you don't know what is going to be awesome.
I cannot.
How can you push new ideas forward if you don't challenge people with that?
So not being able to go to shows last year is kind of, from my understanding, what sparked you guys doing the doodles, the dry erase doodles. So talk about that.
We just, we like to hang out with each other. She's a night nurse, so when she's working late nights, she'll come home and, after 3 or 4 nights, and a Tuesday could be our Saturday night. And we just like to hang out and talk about work. And I talk about my work. And as fun as animation is, it's really stressful as well, because there's a lot of hours. It's a lot of deadlines.
Yeah.
And so, we just love to talk and come with ideas.
We love Umphrey's McGee.
And be creative.
Going in for a drink.
Oh, I love Umphrey's McGee too. And so we started doing these doodles, and then of all things, I got to give props to Munyon. Munyon, their music when we were, we started listening to everything in the hot tub, and we put on Munyon. I was like, oh, it's like, yes, it's like this. And we started drawing all these puppets, and we went off. How is this happening? The music is like drawing our hands. And then we started doing portraits, or before the portrait, we started doing some really crazy, just letting the dry erase
doodles do their
and
thing.
the music. And then with COVID, and I couldn't see show. So I used to go to a show every week here in Dallas, even as a tribute band or cover band. And I would just I'd come home.
Great supporter of local music.
Completely, covered in sweat. Yeah. And that was my church. That was my therapy. And suddenly I wasn't getting my therapy anymore. And it got,
and he was getting more and more difficult to deal with.
It got, no, I'm kidding. So it got serious, and we started.
I'm sure my husband would say the same thing about me. Yeah.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do?
Well, and then we just started drawing, and I'm color outside the lines, and then Stephanie was just starting to fill it all in a little more detail, and we just started doing some crazy portraits and like these Trump portraits and then it just kind of became really fun to do different celebrity
musical
portraits.
Icon.
We started getting a little tighter, as we were going. Let's just start doing some musicians. And we started dabbling a little bit. We did a Hendrix one night. It was just so much fun. Like, wow, look at that. That's Hendrix. I gave him an eyeball afro. And so much
they're
fun.
really cool. The ones you posted, they're so neat.
Yeah. And then it's just like, wow.
With that.
And then I think, like everybody else, you post something on Facebook and people liked it. It's like, oh, okay. Well, that felt good.
Yeah.
I got a like. We're like, oh man, we gotta do the band. So we did this. We did a Bayless when he was with my kids, and he was so young, and it was a cute picture. It was fun.
It was cute.
And we thought, hey, this actually looks kind of cool. And I think I sent it to Kevin, and he was like, oh, this is cool. Hey, what if you did a time lapse? It's like, leave it to Browning. Guy's a genius. So he's like, all right, cool. Yeah, we'll do a little time lapse. And then we just started doing, we did the entire band. And then he sent the clip of the origin of the audio. And and then he's like, hey, what if you did the boot and then erase it and made it a shoe? Because he really liked the erase part. Because I mean, we're just doodling on dry erase and we erase it. And that seems precious. It's just fun expression. It's like a note.
I think it's more precious than he does. But he really he loves the erasing part and he wants that filmed. And I'm thinking, but I don't want to get my hand in there like that. But so that's his part. He really
I like
loves
to film us erasing all of them. So
Mm-hmm.
we've done so many drawings, and I just like to film erasing it because
I just want to do the face. That's it. I just want to draw the face, and he's amazing with the backgrounds. Like I don't know how you think of all that stuff. I don't.
No, it's just
Props.
So suddenly we had a narrative and we had storytelling, and I don't know if
that was the big thing, to have a story to go with a piece. And so then with that, it starts to feel like as you're recording, you feel like this is kind of becoming almost a performance art situation because.
But again, it takes, someone like Kevin Browning to just go, hey, I think this would be really cool. And then I just did a first pass and shot it over to him. I had to edit out when we got out of the tub, got back in. So, after that, it was, he was, of course.
Yeah, you definitely want that edited.
I'm like, yeah, it's all right. And I threw it over there. He's like, hey, what if we did this, this, or this, or this? And I'm like, ooh. And so there's a nice little challenge there, a nice little, some direction, from KB. And so it was awesome. And it turned into a real project. And so just for fun, after we already had the whole band, and then, with Los Lobos and drawing David, it was just we drew David that last time. I felt like it wasn't done enough. And then I just wanted to go back in and it's one more time. Because when we're sitting in the tub, we're like, is this not the most fun you've ever had?
Oh, it's totally the most fun ever.
As a human.
This is second.
Yeah,
but that's first.
I remember on the playground in second grade, that was really fun. Really fun. But this may top that. And so, and then it was please give me one more note. Mm-hmm. I want to go back in. And so, the last note was, I think it was my note. David. I want to do a better David.
Yeah, better David.
And so we went in and it was and then it was wow, that was really freaking cool. And they're we might have something here.
Yeah.
So we, stitched it all together and shot it over there, and it all just kind of worked. It's whoa, that actually was kind of cool.
But yeah.
So Stephanie, where did your passion for art come from then?
It's kind of brewed over many, many years. I was a high school art student, never went to college for that, went to college to be a nurse. And
A Night Nurse by Umphrey and McGee.
I get that a lot from him. Oh, drink! But yes. And
so every time I hear Night Nurse, they wrote this for her, but
yeah.
No idea.
It's my favorite one of the nurses. Night Nurse
Really?
is my favorite one. Yeah, I like that one a lot.
That's fun. Yeah, you say that to me. You're a night nurse. Yeah, I get that. I know.
Thank you.
But yeah, I think I've always loved music. I've always loved art. My mom loved to do art while we were growing up at our house, and she experimented with oil paints and all kinds of things. And we never did that as kids, but it was great to appreciate her experimenting and trying to access that creativity on her part. So I always appreciated that. And then, I was dating musicians, and I always loved the musical part of artistic experience and performance. And then I decided I'm never dating musicians again. Sorry. And then I found him. Being an artist. That was a lot of fun. So we were able to explore that funny creative side. He's actually got a large painting hanging in our garage right now. It's 6x9 canvas that is going to be, I know, the big pop culture piece that he's been working on for a number of years, but it's something that the kids have been able to see and know that their dad is truly an artist in every form. And so I think that's really important, to instill that passion in them, which makes me more passionate about art as well. I'm someone who I'd love to kind of study it, on more of a research level, looking at art books and that type of thing. So to see him living art as an artist is really rewarding. And it's something that's been great to be able to show our kids and teach our kids about. So that's just made me more passionate about it, for sure.
And it turns out she's got all the talent.
Who knew?
I love that.
Well, I knew because we've got some of her high school art, and she won a bunch of awards and ribbons and all that good stuff.
Yes.
So
I was the humble one of the two.
dry erase brought all that out. She came back with a vengeance.
Yeah, I did.
I love that. Hell yes.
Yeah. So she does all the faces and the eyes, and and we'll hold up the phone and.
That's
the hardest part too.
Right? Yeah. And
thanks, y'all.
If she goes, oh, Pete, you do the eyes. And I'm like, I can do a third eye right there.
Yeah, that's true. And puts an eyeball over here and over here. And I'm like, well, that's a good place to put an eye. Sure.
But yeah, no, I think
it's a great.
It helps rein it in.
Collaboration,
and then
for sure.
For each one of our portraits, we try to do this whole little, I don't know, tribal, a mark or this extra little, and I'm not a giant Kiss fan, but I respect it's almost like the Kiss mark. It's like, what is their other personality? So
right, something that signifies their energy.
Jake earned his stripes, and for the other band members, we've got all these other little icons and fun little things that just kind of.
And they kind of, it's not something themselves. Planned. Yeah, no, it's not a plan.
It's all improv.
Mm-hmm.
So it's music, and it's and we love to play the music while we're drawing, and it really kind of directs the markers, directs the experience, and lets out that almost. It's really satisfying, almost like going to a show. I mean, we leave it, and it's like, wow, that felt really great. And as much as we're receiving from the bands and all that stuff, we're throwing it back out there. And I mean, if we could, we'd have a dry erase at every show going, on this.
You're lucky we're not dry erasing right now.
But you wouldn't be able to dry erase with how sweaty you get, though.
We're gonna dry erase. Well, I mean, we're in.
Oh, so true.
Yes. No. Yeah.
He has to bring a towel.
I do.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I guess
that's one thing that's so great about him. He's so passionate about everything that he does.
One thing that's so great about this band is
that's very awesome.
At New Orleans at Tipitine or House of Blues, so freaking hot in there. We're crazy. Stasik, best guy ever. Turned the fan on me just to cool me down.
Yes.
He thought I was gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
And I apologize in advance to everyone I've ever sweat and sprinkled on.
Well, I love it too. I mean, being parents, I'm sure you can agree with this, that I will hear songs like you were talking about with your son in the ringtone, and my daughter's 10 now, and I'll hear Made to Measure or Miami Virtue, and it'll just make me think of her dancing in her diaper to it, and it takes me right back to that moment of their life. And it's such a great way to remember their childhoods too, because it's the soundtrack of their lives now.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
Yeah, it's a tearjerker. Yeah. That will definitely get you all the feels. That's what I love. Just the chills. I mean, and then we would drive when we're in Texas, so we would drive up to Chicago every year for New Year's. We drive to Denver. We drive to New Orleans. We drive. Basically, we just started planning all the family vacations around the band schedule.
Yeah,
Yep.
we did.
But we'd go to museums during the day. We would foodie it out with the, diners, drive-ins, and dives maps, and just find all the cool little places to go. And St. Louis was always a great place to go, to City Museum.
Chicago.
Yeah.
And but then those drive homes, it's not bad because you're listening to the show. We pull the CD down, we'd have it on Nugs or whatever, and just those long drives and listening to that. I mean, I would just follow them around by myself because I'm working, and got the car window down and the breeze blowing and just driving. You hit that one song, it's next thing you know, you're gushing, crying like a baby. Like, man, where did you tap into that? It's your very Goodwill Hunting moment. And it's something magic about this band that no other band really does that. Yeah,
I agree 100%. And they're the motivating reason why I travel as much as I did. I like to travel, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm just going to go here because of this. It's like, well, I'm going to go there, see music. And now I'm here. I get to experience the city. And so for that, I'm super grateful. It motivated me to get outside my comfort zone in a lot of ways,
Yeah, and like the kids suddenly don't look at an art museum as torture anymore. They're like, wow,
it took a while.
This is art history. They're all into art.
Yeah, they like art now.
We raised them on Umphrey's and art museums in whichever city we were touring at next.
I love that.
I was kind of concerned when, we were starting these dry erase, we said Umphrey's. Oh, when we started these dry erase things, that the kids were going to be like, Mom, Dad, what is this about? And we would show them, what do you think of this? And they really seem to be very accepting of the idea that Mom and Dad are sitting in a tub, whatever that means, and they're doodling with dry erase markers, and having their cocktails, and just doing like a
passion project.
Yeah, passion project, art performance, whatever they want to call it. Just making art, being creative, and
lifestyle.
Well,
it's an incredible life lesson. That's an incredible way to show your children that and you said you work a lot, that your job is stressful, and you're a nurse, so you guys work very hard in your jobs, but you're also embodying to your children that that's not all that life is about, that there is so much more to it. And that's such a huge, awesome thing for your kids to encounter, not just to be exposed to that art, but to, like you had with your mom, having that creativity and seeing your parents being creative. It's a beautiful thing.
To have work-life balance for sure. And I think
her mom's still rocking the artwork. We're doing these Halloween.
She's 75 years old, and she's trying to work with like, okay, now I want to make my oils do this and melt it. And I'm like, okay.
We did
awesome
Avatar one year, and we're building these Avatar things. Of course, I'm always, Easter eggs, Umphreys, and everything. And we listen to it the whole time we're installing. And then her mom drives up and she whips out 2 giant posters of, the Na'vi. And here, I thought you could maybe
time to do that.
Throw this on your mailbox or something. They're like, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks,
That's
Grandma.
awesome. That is so badass.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Shout out to Marilla,
Yeah, shout out to Marilla.
She'll get a kick out of it.
She probably will.
East Texas. Hey, I gotta show you my new Father's Day gift. Eyeball pillows.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
Which way it's supposed to be. Yeah, I'm not sure which way it sits.
Oh man.
I feel like the orange is on top, but that's my personal preference.
That's what I've been doing.
But like from sitting here and looking at it, that's how it feels to me.
That's how I was feeling it. Mm-hmm.
It's cool. My kids get me eyeball gifts. I'm a lucky guy. Gotta say.
Yeah. What I get is what do I get? Oh, I got
tickets to a concert.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what?
Concerts of his choice. Every time.
I got you a bowling ball. It says Homer.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, every anniversary. Oh, for a while there was every anniversary was Mo tickets. And then it was, we're gonna go to Umphrey's now.
Yes.
Oh, guess what?
For every holiday, we will be going to Umphrey's.
Yes. Guess what? Merry Christmas, baby. New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Okay.
New Year's tickets.
Let's go.
Pack the bags. We're going to Denver.
I've been trying to convince him for a number of years that we need an RV. So we don't have to make reservations. We just can follow Umphrey anywhere. And he keeps...
That's my dream. I want.
Right?
Yeah.
He keeps denying me his dream.
Yeah. We'll get there.
I'm trying to help him.
We'll get there. I'm on the long-term plan. The 40th anniversary tour. We'll be there.
I'll be parked right next to you. I'm right there.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah, we'll get all the
Let's do
kids.
it.
Got the convoy.
Yeah.
I love
right.
it. That'd be so awesome.
We'll just have all the kids set us up with the cool places to go and
You know,
check out.
our kids are like adults now. I mean, they're not like adults. They are 18, 20, 21, 30.
Raised on the Umphrey's tour bus.
Since they were little. So, I mean, that's quite a great thing to say, and especially to the longevity of Umphrey so far. And if we can just get, Umphrey's to continue their growth, that's, I mean, your family grows. Why shouldn't the experience with Umphrey's grow as well? So we really like that.
Yeah.
Like helping to promote that experience for them too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So how would you say, each of you, how does Umphrey's inspire you personally and artistically and maybe professionally?
All right, well, you go, because
Man,
I mean, you hit it all on him.
Yeah, I mean, it's spread the word. It's word of mouth, and there's an introduction to the band which makes a lot of sense to a lot of people of something maybe missing in their life, and then other people they move past it. But for that one person you can connect the band with, it becomes really a life-changing moment. I've got a baby brother 10 years younger than me, and I took him to his first Umph show, and it feels like I saved his life. He was in a bad place, and he thanks me all the time. And so when you can make that connection, so that becomes a real personal thing and very important, and like life-changing moments. And then as far as the passion comes, it's just the music. It's like almost like contagious. That's so good. Every note. I mean, I'm hanging on every note. The shows, I like to do this, and just like every freaking note.
Yeah.
Sounds so good. That it just, it almost like it gives me life, keeps me alive, and becomes a super important of every day, where it's, I mean, that inspiration is contagious. And part of what I like to do is I like to spread that. And even at work, I'm that guy. I'm the Ted Lasso guy. Every project is so intense and stressful. You've got to kind of bring people past that. And I'm the dad or the mom of all the productions, and they're just like, man, you're like the dad, you're like the mom, but you're always playing this killer music. And when they come back from a job, they may not ever listen to it again, but they know they're going to get a ride, they're going to get a great adventure, they're going to see the passion that it brings. And it's almost, like I said, it's therapy. It really is. It keeps me going, keeps me alive. So during COVID, it was really freaking tough, and this was just another way to have that therapy involved and intertwined with the band.
Yeah.
And for me, it wasn't necessarily therapy to do the doodles. For him, it was, because his job is extremely, deadline heavy and all that. My job is stressful for sure, but
life and death, babies.
No big deal. But
nothing.
But for me, it was just great to be able to have this partnership in art and in creativity. And I think that's something that speaks well to the band. That's something, they have a language between them where they're on stage, and when they're off stage, they're able to communicate their music to one another and their skills and talent. And that's something that we've been able to show one another and incorporate into our lives as well, in our personal lives. And I think it's good that you can take that and you can put that into your work life, and you can put that into your your family relationships, your business relationships, is just to be able to have partnerships with people and have a language, communicate, there's teamwork. Let's not work against one another. Let's work together. And that's something that from the first time we saw Umphrey's at Canes in Tulsa, and it was all the sign language and all of that. That is something really specific to them that we noticed that we had not seen other bands do so expressively. Mm-hmm. And I think that's an important tool for people in every aspect of their life, is just to keep that communication open. I think that Umphrey does that really, really well.
Everyone, but I think that's the allure, is like everyone knows, and it means so much. It hits everyone personally in such different direction. That's the power of music and the power of the songwriting is
the songwriting.
You interpret it a certain way, and it's
the songwriting so amazing, really fantastic. And the older that you get, the more that you appreciate that. When you're young, you're like, oh yeah, I just want to sing the words, and it's really fun to sing along. It's not a sing along.
These
anymore.
Are timeless.
The older that you get, the older that you become, the more experience, life changes. Dang, COVID, whatever. Whatever happens to you that you have personal growth from, those lyrics become even more significant. And I think that's really something profound that Brendan's been able to do as an artist.
And because when we're gone,
that's not an easy task.
Those songs will be here, and those songs will mean so much to our kids. And that's really,
it's not an easy thing to do, to have a legacy like that.
It's a powerful, powerful skill and talent.
Oh yeah. It's everything.
That's why we follow them. That's why we did what we did. They're just the best band around.
I agree.
Period. King Crimson was pretty damn good.
Wait, Umphrey's McGee. I just said it so I could drink.
But,
I think you did say it a bunch of times though, and you didn't drink. So I'm not condoning bad behavior, but
I'm kind. You're not condoning that behavior. Crawlers.
I'm just saying.
So we're probably going to do another doodle tonight.
Yeah, probably. We got cocktails going. We're have to do a doodle tonight. So
ooh, fun. I mean, I always have a soft spot for Stevie Nicks, so she's
great idea.
My dad always wanted to nickname me Stevie because her name was Stephanie, and so was mine. And in the family, just never caught on.
She was named after Stevie Nicks.
I just never caught on. Yeah, my dad liked more.
Let's do Stevie Nicks tonight.
I love her.
All right.
That would be incredible.
Okay,
thanks,
just
Sarah.
for you, Sarah. We'll do Stevie Nicks.
Love it. I love it. You guys are so much fun.
Those guys. Oh, thanks. This has been pretty interesting and enjoyable.
Yeah, thanks for doing all this stuff. I was listening back on a ton of these, and kudos to you. These are great.
Thank you.
These are really great.
Certainly a passion project, like you were saying. You just get an idea and you just run with it, and that's what's happened here.
Like the band makes you want to do these things.
I love that.
It's so contagious. It's and then spread that, amongst the crowd. And that's why I love the band, the Umpphreys, the rail crew, and everyone. We just have great friends. I mean, we'll call all our friends like Dallas tour, come on, and then everyone comes and they sleep on this couch here, and we got blow up mattresses in every room, and we have a taco party after every Dallas show, and it's just a good time.
I love that. And that's the thing I love about my show too, is I've been able to meet all of these people. I mean, especially in the past year, like being able to still connect with everybody when there was no music. I'm so grateful to have been able to do that. But even before that, to get to know everybody and get to know everybody's different story and their different journey to this band. But we all love this one thing so much, but we all got here a different way. And I love finding out how that is. It's so cool. It's such an awesome story,
No, and it's really great that you are taking this opportunity to reach out to different fans and personalities to extend that story.
So is there anything else that you want to talk about, promote, mention before we wrap it up?
There is a tease. working with Kevin, we were so happy to do the Jake origin story that we're working with them on. Like, we can't stop at Jake. We got to do we actually did Bayless twice.
Not too much.
We did Myers twice. Just, all right, give us a note so we can do it again. So we do have a new video.
In the works.
In the works.
More or less. We don't know. We'll see.
Exciting.
Yes.
Exciting. I'm excited to see it. I've been telling everybody about that video. I'm like, did you watch that? It's really cool. Did you see that? That video is really neat. You should watch it.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. I mean, anything that kind of promotes, first of all, new art, which I kind of think that, dry erase, whatever what the heck we're doing, I don't know what we call it, but that is something that's new media. And of course, promoting our favorite band.
Yeah, we're pretty humbled that Animation World Network picked up on it. It's like, whoa, you're talking to my peers there, and it was really cool. And then just seeing it in the news there, and people liking it. And I think the best YouTube review is, could this be the one video that doesn't get a thumbs down? And then of course the next day we get a thumbs down. Thank you for that.
It was a few days later. I was checking.
There's always that guy.
There's that guy. I know who he is.
We've arrived. We got the thumbs down.
We're gonna find him.
We're gonna hunt him down. Jay and Silent Bob. Funny. No, we're just we pretty much, I live for music and live for the next show, and my calendar is just show, and I'm going to bring everything I got to Terrapin.
Yeah, so look out.
Watch out. Just
do not stand by the bald guy up front.
Beware. I'm gonna sweat over everybody.
Bring a towel, whatever you got to do, an umbrella, parasol.
And if I could just be the band dancer, I would be.
Yeah, he keeps talking about that. We got to talk to those guys. Kevin,
I would be in such great shape too. I'd be like freaking triathlon.
Kevin, I'm speaking to you.
Like Mighty Boss Tones. They hired a band dancer.
I think it was like the lead singer's brother or something.
Yeah. Like
it's me. For Pete's health. Please make him band dancer.
Band dancer.
Oh, I can't even
love it.
Imagine.
I can. Hello, income tax occupation. Band dancer.
Umphrey's McGee official dancer. Hey, I was homeschooling my daughter last year, and I got to put her on her like paperwork for the state, and they're like music class, and I'm like, weekly lessons with Umphrey's McGee keyboardist Joel Cummins. I totally wrote it on her paperwork for the state.
Girl, yes. Claim what's rightfully yours.
I was like, hell yeah. Somebody totally looked that up and was like, wow.
Lessons from Beethoven, anyone?
For sure. I'm like, I'm totally flexing right now. Yes.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Get your kid what she deserves.
For sure.
Awesome.
She loves it.
Joel he's
that.
So great. Yeah.
He's a fantastic teacher. He really is. The progress that they've made, and her skill level on its own is impressed Joel. So he loves teaching her because she's like a freaking sponge and can hear anything and plays. So he's like, yes, I want to teach her.
Isn't that amazing? You can see that with your kids, and that they don't know it, but they are really having the experience of a lifetime. And if nothing goes right in their life, like if everything else falls apart, that is something that is super special. To just have that connection and that that whole education experience.
I could see it already.
Yeah, for sure.
Guest performer on stage.
Well, we took her when we went to our first shows in New York. We went back and she went with us, and we went backstage and she got to meet Joel, and then we were right up front the whole time. And after, she was just like, that was the greatest thing ever, because she'd never been up that close before. And so just to like watch everybody, and now she has this different relationship with music than she did the last time she had been at a show, and
she's getting it.
like, oh my gosh,
she's starting to get it. And that's a huge thing when your kids start to figure out and they start to see that, they're connecting the dots. I get it now. These people are important.
Yeah.
They're making a difference. And
I mean, that's all it takes is that one song, that one moment, that one experience, and boom, it could change your whole life. I mean, that whole Richard Linklater, take one choice, one decision, good or bad, and your life is.
Well, everybody needs a mentor.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel. It was, and personally, it was great because it was, my husband was working all day and it was me with the kids and doing the homeschool and trying to navigate this whole thing. And here comes Joel once a week to hang with my daughter for an hour. And I told him there were days when I was just like, thank you, like on just a whole other level of having someone else in the village, especially during that time, and to give her that outlet during, the thick of 2020, is to give her that outlet was amazing too. So they're still taking lessons when they can, and she loves it. So,
and that's certainly like what you were saying, is that was as good for him as for her.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, they were doing lessons every week there for the thick of it. And, when they started to tour again, he was sad about it. He was like, I'm great. I'm happy, we can tour and I'm excited to be out there and playing music. And he's like, but I'm going to miss this every week. So we still do it when he's able to. And it's such an awesome opportunity on so many levels. I'm so grateful. It's the silver lining of COVID for sure.
Yeah. And there are certainly multiple silver linings to COVID, at least in such a weird year, an off year, you could say. It certainly put people off their balance and, made them left of center, and maybe brought some people closer together. Other people maybe, they evaluated their situation and grew apart. But all in all, it was a time for growth.
Yeah.
So your daughter was able to do that, and obviously Joel was too. So that's a wonderful thing. Nobody loses when that happens.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, it's cool. Like sometimes I'll hear them and it's cool to hear him in a different way. He's a teacher and he's doing these different things. So it's cool to see him in a different way too.
Sure.
Yeah. I definitely had to do a couple of those lessons just to, shoot the shit. Like, okay, Bayless, I want to learn this. And I show up and it's like, I got a ukulele. Like, I don't want to learn anything. I just want to hear you jam. You jam for me.
Wanted to say hi.
Hey, please, just shred for me, please. And and then Ryan was great. I mean, my 20-year-old got in and with the guitar, and he caught him a couple things, and next thing you know, he's trying to learn every single song and coming downstairs and like hitting Ocean Billy for me, and I mean, blowing my mind. So very inspiring all around. Again, awesome. It's another way we love this band. We'll continue to promote and do anything we can to make them the greatest progressive, aggressive rock band in history of.
Hell yeah. This has been really awesome.
Well, thanks for the invite. I mean, it was
we've enjoyed it. I've never done anything like this before. Pete's had, a lot more experience, like all the experience with Zoom calls and stuff like that. I feel like that for me, I have to give little speeches every day as a nurse at work.
And a mom.
Yeah. Yep.
Anytime you walk into a stranger's room and say, this is how it's going, that's a little speech.
But are you playing Umphrey's while they're delivering babies?
No, and that's really unfortunate.
That's what you should do.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah, you should.
We should have that stuff piped in.
Yes.
Let's pipe it in, people.
I will make you a tape of all the acoustics that just kind of set the tone.
Now we're talking.
I like it. This could be a real improvement to healthcare.
Yes.
I think so.
Umphrey's baby birth videos. Soundtracks.
The next level.
I'm here for it.
Cool.
Okay. All right.
We can't thank the band more, enough for help, allowing us to meet all these great people, and really becomes a family. And our kids, all the fans. I can't remember names, but I remember cities. So I was like, oh, here's Baton Rouge. Remember Baton Rouge? Like, hey, Uncle Baton Rouge. And so it's so much fun. It's such a great reward for the short time we have on Earth, and we're so appreciative.
Absolutely. Well, this has been
thanks,
fantastic.
Sarah. I know we're over our hour.
Thanks, Sarah. I know, like we just keep on going.
No, you're fine. That's totally great. If people love to chat, that's why I give this space. I like to talk to people, and I like to hear people and their stories. So
great. Just edit out every drink, and you're good to go on the pre-record.
Or edit it in. Keep it different. Keep it rolling. Andy Cohen style.
Yeah.
All right, my dear. Thank you so much. This is a lot of
Well, you did fantastic.
Thanks.
All right. No, this is great, and thank you for dropped among this crowd, and thank you, Umphrey McGee, and wasn't for them, we wouldn't have met.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been so great.
And that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
All right. See you.
Have a great rest of your night.
Have a great night.
Okay.
Big hugs to your family.
Yes, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.